Racing isn't just a hobby for some people. Some people are born into it. Others pick it up later in life. The one thing about racing, once it's in your blood, it's part of you. It's everything you do. The risks that you take, you kind of live by that inch that separates the cars. Doesn't matter what kind of race car you're racing. There's a certain amount of passion that goes along with it. There's commitment that goes to it. But you find yourself putting yourself in positions that you normally wouldn't do in the rest of your life when it comes to racing. It's all or nothing. You don't go out there to do just okay. You go out there to do the best you can every time you go out there. You sacrifice yourself. You put everything mentally, sometimes physically, that you have into 20, 30, or 40 laps of racing. You don't think about what you can't do with it, because if you do, you've already been beat. Whether you're starting back in the middle of a pack or up front, I mean, you just think about going forward. Sometimes it'll just surprise you, and all of a sudden you're moving forward. Everything's clicking. You might even win your first race, or your second or your third. But when you're in the car, there's nothing else that matters. You don't look out the window, you don't look out the side and see the sights as you're racing. You are concentrating on racing. There's nothing else to think about. It's just you, the car, and your abilities against other people that have the exact same thing. The only difference most of the time is you and your passion for what you're doing. Sometimes you'll go to a place that you've never been before, but what you've learned over years of racing is what you can do with a car. How you can start out going into, say a corner that you've never been in before, and throw the car in there like you've been there a million times. That experience that you gain over time allows you to do that. But it also allows you to take a situation that may not be as good and change it. There's a lot of things in life that you can't do that with. But in racing, it's purely in your control. Racing has everything in it. It has life, it has beginning, it has the end, it has death, accomplishment, failure, you name it, it has it. Everything that life consists of can be wrapped up into racing. And very few people can understand that. Some people, they come out, and if they're not good at it right off the bat, they walk away from it. But some people will strive their entire lives to win one race. They'll endure tragedy, they'll endure pain, frustration, just to say that they got to win one race. There's not too many things out there you can be really horrible at and continue to do to try and improve. Racing's life in its truest form. it's hard for people to understand the passion that we have in racing because they don't exhibit that passion in anything in their lives. You know, when people sit there and say you're racing for a trophy or you're racing for a couple $100, it doesn't matter if it's practice, qualifying, heat race, main event. If you have passion for it, you're going to put 110% into it. You're going to put down the best lap you can every single lap. And if you have the thought in your head that you need to save the car, and you need to make sure that, I can't drive it too hard, or, and you know what? Somebody like me or somebody else with the passion that we have is going to beat you every time. People like to ask, have you ever been hurt? Have you ever crashed? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're putting everything into it, you're putting yourself at risk. Driving through holes, you're looking for every little bit of speed that you can get. And sometimes that comes at a cost. Sometimes you crash. Hopefully not bad, but sometimes it happens. And then sometimes it just doesn't quite work out. You think you have the fastest groove, think you're doing everything right, and then somebody else will drive up and go by you. But sometimes you stumble across something that nobody else wants to do, and nobody else thinks about doing. And you can start to get an advantage. And once you start to sniff that advantage, you exploit it. When you see it's going to work, and you'll know when it does, you're going to try it over and over again until you get it right, just so you can get up next to that leader that one time. And you know, if you can get next to him, this next time, he's mine. Racing is a lot of planning ahead. And you find yourself doing it without even thinking. On the last lap, last corner, you don't think about, I missed it by an inch. You just drive it in there, squeeze it through, and hopefully you come out the winner. Nothing's more exciting than winning a race on the last lap. And nothing is more depressing than losing one on the last lap. But the truth of the matter is, that one victory will make up for those 10 losses. For some people, they're happy with finishing 5th. I'm not. I don't want to finish 5th anymore. I want to make all my sponsors and my friends proud. I'm just a racer.